Welcome to the round one wrap of the 2024 Liberty Hockey 1 season as we take a look back at what happened in the opening weekend of the new campaign. Jordan Canellis and Georgia Nanscorn with you as we go back and take a look firstly what happened on the Friday night from Mate Stadium, Georgia. It was a 4-3 victory for Hockey Club Melbourne, starting off with a lovely bit of skill here. How's this to set up the opening goal for Nia Roberts of the new campaign? But there was goals aplenty. There were 2 goals for Landon Morley in a losing side for the Fire, but the Hockey Club Melbourne get the opening victory of the men's season.
Sure was a great way to kick off their season, and some lovely pieces of skill as well, and some good finishing.
We take a look at some of the penalty corners there from the Adelaide Fire. So that was the first of the 4-3 victories as we'll have a look at over the rest of these highlights here. All men's matches this weekend ended up as 4-3 scorelines, and especially in the last quarter here, there was actually quite a lot of goals, about 3 goals in the last quarter of this match. So the goals came flowing in as we have a look at the women's match from the same night directly afterwards. And this one went to a penalty shootout, 1 goal apiece in regulation time for the Fire and for Hockey Club Melbourne, but went all the way to the shootout. So it was a thrilling way to open the season on Friday night.
Yeah, shootouts are always an exciting thing to watch. Not so much to play in, but great as a spectator. And one of the most difficult things in world hockey is coming up against Rachel Lynch in goals, and Melbourne, with her assistance, getting the win there.
Yeah, one of the best in the world, Rachel Lynch. And ended up being the missed penalty from Tyler Pedley, which sealed victory for Melbourne 3-1 in the shootout. On Saturday, it was the Tassie Tigers down at the Tasmanian Hockey Centre who won 4-3. As we see these highlights, though, you'll notice the majority of the goals early on came from New South Wales as the Pride, took a 2-1 lead in this match. Ryan Woolner, the opening scorer of the game. But as you're about to see, Jack Welch from Tasmania scored a hat-trick at the start of quarter number 4, beginning with this penalty corner to go from 2-1 down to seal a 4-3 victory for Tassie.
Yeah, what an absolute weapon. Fantastic to have someone of his calibre in the lineup and being able to put the goals on the board. What a strength.
And so a 4-3 victory in the men's and another shootout. We had the second game of the season, a second shootout, 3-3 at the end of regulation. I mean, the regulation goals alone was something to be spoken about. So New South Wales went up 3-0 in the second quarter before Tassie mounted the comeback and scored 3 of their own goals in quarter number 3. And then this one went all the way down to the wire. But what a fight back it was from 3-0 to 3-3 for the Tigers.
Oh, fantastic for the Tigers. What a test of character to be able to come back and equalise. And then, yeah, another exciting shootout finish.
Abby Wilson there converting her shootout goal. Zoe Newman was big in goals for the Prides, and that sealed their victory, 2-3 in the shootout. And then to the matches on the Sunday, the Canberra Chill in the opening game of their campaign took a 4-0 lead at quarter time. Aidan Dooley with a hat-trick in this men's match, but there was a second half comeback for the Perth Thundersticks.
It really was. The first quarter was really the Dooley show. I don't think anyone saw that coming, 4-0 at half-time, but then mounting a comeback, couldn't quite get the job done in the end, but some really quality finishes and made that last quarter a very exciting one.
Tom Harvey and Brodie Foster from the penalty corners, and then that penalty shot there from Tom Wicken to set up the grandstand finish, but they held on, did Canberra. This was the most one-sided match of the weekend. The Perth Thundersticks winning 10-3 against the Canberra Chill. There were 4 goals for Lexi Pickering. There was a hat-trick as well for Lene Milan, and we saw that woman right there make her debut in Liberty Hockey 1, Eva Drummond, one of the greatest of all time.
Yeah, fantastic to see, and really comprehensive performance there from Perth. They'll be happy with that one for their round 1, 10 goals on the board. Some great finishing, some quality goals across the board.
This is how the ladder looks on the men's side of things. So every game a 4-3 victory. So everyone pretty even just after 1 week there. Tassie, Canberra and Hockey Club Melbourne getting their victories. The Brisbane Blaze sit there in the middle of the table having the bye in week number 1. And the women's ladder looks a little bit more askew with the Perth Thundersticks with a +7 goal difference after the only straight-up victory in the 60 minutes. The other 2 games going to a shootout. So that's how the ladder looks. And that is how we wrap things up today in our round 1 recap of the Liberty Hockey 1 season. A great weekend to start things. Georgia, thank you.
Thank you.
And we'll catch you again next time for our recaps throughout the rest of the season. And see you at the hockey in round number 2.